Tuko riadha, my dear friend, my dear comrade, my dear patriot, shujaa mwenzangu, habari gani? Washindaje? I hope life is fair. Again, I'm looking outside just to give you what I'm looking at. Is that it's a wet, kind of rainy, kind of moist. We are enjoying that, knowing that the heat waves might be coming our way. So why not? Let's get a little bit wet and enjoy the Northwest weather. Subscribe, keep liking. I'm taking your comments seriously. You know who you are. Let's keep talking. We always build each other that way. We are always open to any suggestions and see how that is followed through and executed on or followed up on and applied to anything that is beautiful and lovely. Thank you very much for being that person. Here we go again in athletics, in the sports that challenges all forms of mobility, the winners, the losers, the participants, the competitors. You know, I was a coach for a while, track and field. I coached high school down at the coast, Napa High School. I love the all privilege. It was to me a moment whereby I impacted young people that I know to this day still take this athletic, this sport sacredly. They enjoy it. It has made their lives better. It's a lifestyle for them. It was an honor for those years. I had a wonderful group of wonderful athletes, and they went all the way to state in Eugene, and we really, it wasn't Eugene, it was Western University, because we were division, is it division? I think it's division 3, 3A, it was 2A, 3A, Napa High School. Yeah, it was a time whereby I pretty much poured myself into it. I have a passion, you can tell, when it comes to athletics. And so that is a background of my portfolio in track and field, a little snap preview. I'm not very good in talking about myself very much. But I give you this angle because as a coach or as a parent or anybody in a position where you are empowering mostly athletes, is a very sacred place. I take it, as I say, seriously. It's a privilege. And so I say this because when that code of conduct is broken or abused, used, misused, and it is blurred, and the vulnerable person is always the athlete, is a dark day in sport. I say this because former empire, UK, has exposed us to a dark side of coaching. And I'm reporting this from a newspaper published in UK. I take this because sometimes we talk about winners, losers, we are all excited about it. There's a dark side to every story. And this one is very dark for me. A coach by the name of Chris Burns has been banned from athletics for life. Banned. Why? I'm reading. This is not funny at all. According to the investigative system that was put in place to look into what this coach, this Chris Burns person was doing, is not what you want to see in any organization. According to the charges that were enumerated or put in place for us to understand why this came to place, is because that he, Chris Burns, at the midst of the charges of conducting inappropriate relationship with athletes, he coached and using racist language. I don't think that's new, but you know, he's an empire, the pure nation of UK. I've always heard, you can tell, I have tongue in cheek. I don't think I'm a big fan of UK. As a country that colonized Kenya for a long time. That's just my take. You don't have to agree with me. This coach was an event organizer in the northwest part of England, and he's been given a life ban from athletics after the UK Athletics Disciplinary Panel found him guilty of multiple breaches of the coach's code of conduct. I used to sign that every year with my athletes, administration, and the NIPA High School. Very important part of being a coach, including these are our statement continues, including inappropriate relationships and use of racist language. I don't want to talk about his accomplishment as a coach, because what I'm talking about is how he breached that conduct, the code of conduct. According to the report coming of UK, Mr. Burns admitted of having been involved in multiple charges of misconduct, including inappropriate relationships, use of racist and inappropriate language, and behavior that brought the sport into disrepute. He has been banned permanently from participating in a capacity in the sport of athletics within Great Britain and Northern Ireland. This includes any roles involving coaching, the organization of events, and any other activities governed by the UK athletics competition rules or the rules of World Athletics. So that's it. Chris Burns has been banned in the UK empire, the fallen empire. I think they should extend that to world, because some of what happens, some of these great, they call them great coaches, great Burns, whatever his name is, they just leave the country and go to countries that are not even having, they don't understand what he did. So you're pretty much almost exporting some of this garbage. Some of these people are just rotten to the core. And for me, it's not enough to investigate someone locally, ban them locally, and not let the world know that this guy's code of conduct is inappropriate in athletics. I suspect some of these guys will invent themselves somewhere in a country that doesn't have a system, doesn't have code of conduct. I'm from Kenya. I know some interesting coaches that have found a refuge in those parts of the world, and they'll infiltrate a system that doesn't have the laws that govern code of conduct. And what do? They continue where they left off. And I think for me, as great as that ban is, it should be global. It should be brought to the attention of athletics, IAAF, I don't know what they call them. I think it's Athletics Association of the World, run by, of course, another UK product, Lord Sebastian Coe. They should be enforcing that globally. The ban should be global, because it's not just enough for us to talk about UK. There was another one I found interesting within the northern border of Canada. So as a coach, you see how vocal I get when it comes to some of these things, because the impact we have on these athletes as coaches is powerful. It can make them wonderful people. I can get them going in life. It can bring them here, or we can take them to the dark side of life. The reason why I'm spending time on this is because there's another guilty coach in Canada. His name is Ken Porter, who has been found guilty of 5 criminal charges relating to historic sexual abuse on young boys when he was a coach in the 70s. I don't want to delve into the details of what I read coming out of the court system that has been investigating this maniac for many years. He's 76 right now. He's been found to have been molesting, inappropriately dealing with young boys back in the 70s. It's very dark things to read. It says here that he was found guilty of 2 counts of indecent assault and 3 counts of gross indecency after a Metro Vancouver, after he was found through the justice system and investigated this Ken Porter guy in Canada on the northern side of the border. The details, you know what, some of these things I don't like just even putting it on my platform here, if I may say. The acts were non-consensual, sexual in nature, done to minors, and caused discomfort, confusion, and even revulsion among us victims. Yes, I don't think I'm the one who's going to read the charges here for you guys, but here we go. Some victims were named in this story. I'm not going to do that here. You can read the details if you're interested. Is a guy, a coach in the 70s by the name of Ken Porter, a pedophile, if I may say. And this just brings us to understand that while I'm celebrating athletics, you've noticed my excitement every now and then. I've gone to the mental issues, the violence that have, alleged within the Jacob Engliston. I've kind of mixed the subject because we cannot just talk of athletics. We have to talk of human beings. How this excellence of performance, winning gold medals, champion that, champion this. There's a dark side, the nuances of life, and how somebody one time captured it in a movie, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And for me, these Chris Barnes of UK, Ken Porter of Canada, continues to remind us we have to be vigilant. We can be reporting all these good things we think about in a Diamond League, but not everybody is winning Diamond. Some people are not winning any medal at all. They should be locked up, castrated, and put away for life, not just within the UK domain, not just within the Canadian domain. These people should be put away completely from the beautiful sport of athletics. Let's keep it that way. Canada and the former empire of UK, Chris Barnes, Ken Porter, they don't belong in the hall of greatness of athletics. They should be banned and globally banished, maybe to Siberia somewhere. That was Tukoriada, my friend, on the other side of what might have happened was. Talk to you later. And I appreciate you. You know that.